Life presses on you from every side, and the weight of everything feels unbearable. There is a single thing you must learn to protect and master: your calmness. This calmness is not a passive state, and it is not weakness. It is an active choice to hold your center while storms rage around you. Imagine the wind hitting a mountain. The mountain does not fight the wind. It does not run. It stands. When you feel the noise of the world rising, when your thoughts rush and people demand more, then you need to find that stillness inside. Every person faces moments when pressure builds so high that they want to shout or break. But when you give your emotions the control, you lose your power. Calmness is not the absence of feeling. It is the ability to observe the feeling without being ruled by it. It is like watching the river flow without being carried away by its current. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. You train your breath to slow. You train your mind to see clearly. You train your actions to be steady. This is how you build a mind that cannot be shaken easily. Think of the times when things went wrong for you. Was it the event itself that destroyed your peace, or was it your reaction? We often allow the mind to create chaos. We turn small problems into mountains, and we burn energy on things we cannot control. Staying calm is learning to act only on what is useful and letting go of what is useless. When the world pushes you and your body feels the weight, remind yourself that no pressure can last forever. When everything around you feels heavy and the pressure is closing in from all sides, the most powerful thing you can do is remain calm. Calmness is not just a peaceful state of mind. It is the shield that protects you when chaos tries to break you. Most people think strength is about force, about pushing back harder or fighting with more energy. But the truth is that strength often comes in the form of stillness. When the storm rises, when voices get loud and situations become uncertain, the one who can stay calm is the one who has control. Calmness allows you to think, to breathe, and to choose your response instead of letting panic or anger decide for you. Think about a moment when everything seemed to go wrong at once. Your mind started racing, your heart pounded, and your thoughts became clouded. In such moments, decisions are made in haste, mistakes multiply, and the weight of stress only grows heavier. But when you choose calmness, something changes. You slow your breath, your mind clears, and you begin to see things for what they are instead of what fear or frustration wants you to believe. Calmness creates space, and in that space, you find solutions. You begin to see that pressure is only temporary and problems can be solved one step at a time. Calmness is not something that appears on its own. It is trained and built through practice. It comes from knowing yourself, understanding your emotions, and not letting them control your actions. When you are calm, your voice becomes steady, your actions deliberate, and your energy focused. People around you notice this strength even if they cannot explain it. They sense stability in you because calmness is rare in a world that reacts too quickly. It does not mean you ignore problems or pretend they do not exist. It means you face them without losing your balance. Life will always find ways to test your limits. Deadlines, conflicts, unexpected events, they all come to see if you can bend or break. But the calm person bends without breaking. They know that panic will not speed up solutions and anger will not create clarity. Calmness is like standing in the middle of a storm with an unshaken heart, watching the wind pass by, knowing it will end. And when it ends, you will still be standing. It is easy to confuse calmness with weakness. Some people think being calm means you are not serious, not strong, or not willing to fight. But calmness is the opposite of weakness. It is control. It is strength disguised as simplicity. Anyone can shout. Anyone can panic, but very few can breathe and think clearly when pressure is highest. Calmness gives you power because it allows you to act instead of react. It gives you the ability to make choices while others lose themselves to the noise. Imagine a leader facing a crisis. The team looks to them for guidance. If the leader panics, everyone else panics. But if the leader stays calm, even in uncertainty, the team finds confidence. The same is true for your own life. Your mind and body are your team. When your mind stays calm, your body follows. Stress lowers, decisions improve, and solutions appear faster. Calmness turns chaos into steps you can manage. The world will never stop pushing. It will keep testing you, sometimes softly, sometimes with force. But no matter how much it pushes, you can always choose to stay calm. Calmness is your greatest strength when pressure surrounds you, because it keeps your mind sharp and your heart steady. It is not about avoiding the storm. It is about standing strong until the storm passes, and it always passes. When everything around you feels like it is falling apart, and the weight of situations starts pressing heavily on your mind, the first thing that can save you is your breath. When you control your breath, your mind follows. It sounds simple, but this is where calmness begins. Think about the moments when you were under stress. Your breathing was fast, shallow, almost out of rhythm. That is because the body responds to pressure by preparing for fight or flight. But when you take charge of your breathing, you tell your body and mind to slow down, to return to balance. It is like holding the reins of a wild horse. Once you control the reins, the horse cannot run out of control. Breathing is the anchor for the mind. When your breath is scattered, your thoughts are scattered. When your breath is steady, your thoughts become steady. This is why calm people seem to move slower and think clearer even when the world is shaking. They are not superhuman. They are simply aware of how to use their breath as a tool. Every inhale brings focus. Every exhale releases tension. The rhythm of breathing creates a rhythm in thinking. Your emotions start to align with your breath, and slowly, the noise in your mind begins to settle. When you face challenges, your breath is often the first thing you lose control of. Anxiety shortens it, anger quickens it, and fear makes it uneven. But the moment you notice this and decide to bring it back under your control, the shift is powerful. Sit, stand, or even walk, but focus on breathing deeply and evenly. Draw the air in slowly, feel your chest rise, and then let it go even slower. This is not just about oxygen. It is about reminding your mind that you are still in charge, no matter how big the storm seems. A calm breath creates a calm reaction. This is important because in stressful times, the difference between a wise decision and a wrong one can be the few seconds you take to breathe. Think of an athlete under pressure or a soldier in the middle of chaos. Their survival and success depend on how well they manage their breath, because the mind cannot think clearly when it is starved of calmness. Your breath slows your heartbeat, relaxes your muscles, and opens your mind to better choices. This practice of controlled breathing is not only for moments of crisis. It should be a habit, something you do even when life feels normal. Train your body daily to breathe with awareness. And when pressure comes, calmness will come naturally. You will not have to fight for it. It will already live in you. This is why meditation, mindfulness, and even simple pauses in the day matter so much. They teach you to return to your breath whenever you are distracted or overwhelmed. The beautiful thing about breath is that it belongs to you, and no one can take it away. It does not require special tools, no one can block it, and it works anywhere. Whether you are at work, in an argument, or facing something unexpected, you can always pause and breathe. That one pause can stop a wrong word from leaving your mouth, a wrong step from being taken, or a wrong choice from being made. Breath is the gap between reaction and response. When life pushes you hard, the habit of controlled breathing keeps you steady. It teaches your mind to follow your lead rather than run wild. And when the mind follows the breath, your calmness becomes unshakable. It is simple, but it is the truth. Control your breath and your mind will follow. And this is how you stay calm when the world tries to push you off balance. When life applies pressure and situations seem to close in on you, it is natural to feel like the weight is too heavy to carry. Deadlines pile up, expectations grow, and challenges come from every corner. In those moments, it is easy to believe that the pressure will last forever. But the truth is, pressure is always temporary, while your response to it can define the outcome. Every difficulty, no matter how big, eventually fades, and what remains is the way you handled yourself during that time. Some people collapse under stress, while others grow stronger, not because their problems were easier, but because their response was better. When you feel pressure, your mind often makes it appear larger than it is. Problems get magnified, and the more you think about them, the more overwhelming they feel. This is the trap of pressure. It tries to convince you that the moment you are in will never end. But if you step back and look at your life, you will see that every difficult phase eventually passed. The exams you once worried about ended, the arguments settled, the situations that felt impossible eventually faded. This perspective alone can give you strength to hold steady. Pressure is like a storm. It makes noise and shakes everything for a while, but it cannot stay forever. The key is to remember that while the storm is temporary, your response creates something lasting. If you panic, if you give in to fear, you make decisions that can leave consequences long after the pressure is gone. But if you stay calm, think clearly, and take small, steady actions, the same pressure becomes a teacher instead of a destroyer. Your response decides whether the moment will build you or break you. When others rush and lose control, staying composed sets you apart. You become the person who sees solutions instead of problems, who remains steady when others are unsteady. This is why your inner calm is so valuable. When pressure rises, the body reacts. Your heartbeat quickens, your breathing changes, your muscles tense. But you are not just your body. You are the mind that can guide it. Slow down, breathe, and remind yourself that pressure is temporary. You may not be able to control what is happening, but you can control how you meet it. Instead of thinking about how big the situation is, think about the next best step. One step at a time breaks the weight into pieces you can handle. There is strength in waiting. Sometimes the best response to pressure is patience. Acting too quickly often leads to mistakes because fear takes over. Calmness gives you the space to watch and understand before you move. It helps you realize that some problems solve themselves with time, while others only need small actions instead of big reactions. When you see pressure as temporary, you learn to focus on progress, not panic. Pressure can also be a gift. It shows you what you are capable of. Think about the moments when you surprised yourself, when you handled something you thought you could not. That came because pressure demanded more from you, and you chose to rise instead of fall. Each time you stay calm and respond with clarity, you build confidence for the future. Your mind starts to trust itself. The next time pressure comes, you remember you have faced storms before and stood tall. Life will continue to push, that is its nature. But every push is a moment, not a lifetime. When you keep this truth close, when you remind yourself that no pressure can last forever, your response changes. You no longer panic at the sound of thunder, you wait for the clouds to clear. Pressure is temporary, but your response stays with you. Let it be a response you are proud of. When the world seems loud and full of demands, when problems surround you and everything feels urgent, there is one thing that can change everything: silence inside. It is easy to get lost in noise, to be pulled into the chaos of voices, deadlines, and thoughts that never stop. But when you learn to create silence within yourself, you discover a strength that nothing outside can shake. Silence does not mean running away or ignoring what is happening. It means creating a space inside your mind that remains clear, even when everything outside is unclear. It is like standing in the middle of a busy street, yet hearing nothing but your own steady heartbeat. That space is where calmness grows. Think about how most people react when things go wrong. They rush, they panic, they speak without thinking, and their minds race in every direction. The louder the world gets, the louder their inner voice becomes, and in that noise, they lose clarity. But the person who stays silent inside, who listens before reacting, sees things others miss. Silence makes room for observation. It gives you a chance to understand, to plan, and to act instead of react. A silent mind is not empty, it is full of awareness. This kind of inner silence is not always natural. It has to be built, trained, and protected. Life will always test it. People will push your limits, situations will challenge your patience, and emotions will try to control your actions. But if you have practiced stillness, you will know how to hold your ground. You will know how to listen to your own breath when the noise outside tries to control you. This does not mean you avoid problems. It means you face them with a clear head. When your mind is silent, you notice things others overlook, the tone of a conversation, the small details in a problem, the chance hidden in the struggle. When everything is pushing you, silence gives you power because it slows time. While others rush, you see the path. You become like water, flowing but steady. Silence gives you the chance to think about your words before you speak, your actions before you take them. It stops you from saying something you might regret or making a choice you cannot take back. It protects your energy because reacting to every noise drains you. When you are silent inside, you choose when to act and when to wait. That is why people who seem calm often seem strong too. They are not moved by every wave. They move when it matters. A quiet mind is like a clear mirror. It reflects things as they are. Emotions like fear or anger blur the mirror, but silence wipes it clean. In those clear moments, you realize that many of the things you worried about were smaller than they appeared. You understand that most pressure is temporary and that rushing will not make the solution arrive faster. Instead, silence guides you to small, steady steps. It is a kind of inner discipline. It says, I do not have to react to everything. I do not have to give my energy to every noise. To create this silence, you must practice it daily. Take moments in your day to pause, even for a minute, and simply breathe. Turn your focus inward and watch your own thoughts like clouds passing by. The more you do this, the easier it becomes to find that silence in the middle of chaos. And when real challenges come, your mind will know where to return, to that quiet center that cannot be shaken. The world will always make noise. People will always have opinions. Problems will always come with urgency. But your power is in your ability to step back and be still when everything tries to pull you in. Silence inside creates clarity in chaos, and clarity is what will carry you through when the world pushes against you. When chaos is around you and everything feels like it is closing in, most people only see problems. They see walls where they cannot move. They feel trapped, and their minds start to believe there is no way out. But a calm mind works differently. It does not get blinded by panic or noise. It looks at the same situation, but finds something others miss. An opening, a small step, an idea that can change everything. Calm minds see opportunities where others see obstacles. This is why staying calm is not just about peace, it is about power. It gives you the ability to notice what is really happening instead of getting lost in what your fear is telling you. When you face pressure, your brain often switches to survival mode. It stops thinking long-term and focuses only on escaping the moment. This is when mistakes happen. You might quit too early, speak without thinking, or make choices that hurt you later. But when you stay calm, you slow that process down. You let your mind breathe, and when it breathes, it sees more. It can see that every wall has a corner, every challenge has a lesson, and every problem carries a chance to grow stronger. The obstacle does not shrink, but your vision becomes wider. Instead of thinking this is the end, A calm mind asks, what else can I do? What other path is there? What can I learn here? This skill can change everything in life. Imagine two people facing the same setback. One gets angry and frustrated, blaming everything and losing energy. The other takes a moment, stays calm, and starts to break the problem into pieces. Which one do you think will find a solution faster? The one who is calm always has the advantage because they are not wasting energy on panic. They can think clearly. They can listen, observe, and act. In many cases, opportunities are hidden inside difficulties, but you will never see them if your mind is too busy fighting. A calm mind also gives you creativity. Pressure often kills creativity because fear blocks ideas. But when you are calm, your mind opens. It starts to connect things, to see new angles, to think of solutions that were not visible before. This is why some of the best decisions are made in moments of stillness. You give yourself time to look beyond the surface. You see that a failure can become a lesson that leads to something better, that a delay can create room for a better plan, that a problem can reveal strengths you did not know you had. Even when everything seems dark, a calm mind can find a light. Sometimes the opportunity is not outside but inside. It could be the chance to learn patience, to grow stronger, to develop resilience, or to discover your own limits and move past them. Life often gives us challenges not to stop us but to prepare us. But this is something only a calm mind can understand. When you are restless, all you feel is pain and pressure. When you are calm, you start to see the purpose behind it. Staying calm does not mean ignoring reality. It means looking at reality without fear. You still see the problems, but you also see choices. This is the difference between reacting and responding. A reaction is fast and emotional. A response is steady and thoughtful. Calmness helps you respond. It makes you see clearly, think deeply, and act wisely. When everything pushes you, do not let your mind rush into panic. Take a breath, stay still for a moment, and look again. You will notice that the same wall someone else fears might have a door you can open. Calm minds see opportunities where others see obstacles. And this is why staying calm is always worth it. When the world pushes you and the weight feels heavier with every passing moment, your first instinct might be to react quickly. You might want to defend yourself, speak without thinking, or take immediate action just to release the tension. But real strength does not come from reacting to everything around you. It comes from responding with intention. There is a great difference between reaction and response. A reaction is fast, often emotional, and driven by fear, anger, or pressure. A response is calm, deliberate, and guided by clarity. Strength is not reacting but responding with intention. And this is what separates those who lose control under stress from those who stay steady no matter what comes their way. When pressure builds, it tries to take away your balance. Your emotions rise, your thoughts race, and your decisions become clouded. This is why many people regret what they said or did in a moment of heat. They allowed reaction to lead them. But think about the times when you stayed quiet for a moment, took a breath, and chose your words or actions carefully. Did you notice how the situation turned out differently? That pause is power. It is the moment where strength is built, because in that space, you are not ruled by the outside world, you are guided by your own mind. Responding with intention is not always easy because the world expects quickness. In arguments, in business, in relationships, people often demand instant answers. But the strongest individuals know that rushing often leads to mistakes. They are not afraid to pause, to think, to measure their actions. This does not mean they are slow or indecisive. It means they value accuracy over speed. They know that one calm decision can solve more than 100 rushed ones. When you choose to respond instead of react, you gain control over your energy. You do not waste it on anger or fear. You keep it for what truly matters. Sometimes responding means saying something wise. Sometimes it means saying nothing at all. Silence can be a response, and it can be more powerful than any words spoken in haste. At other times, responding means taking small but strong steps rather than rushing into big, uncertain moves. Each response becomes a reflection of your discipline. A person who reacts to everything is like a leaf in the wind, moved by whatever comes. But a person who responds with intention is like a tree, rooted and steady, bending only when it chooses to. This is why calmness is so important. It gives you the space to think. It allows you to look at the problem from different angles, to feel the emotion but not be owned by it, to see the bigger picture instead of being trapped in the moment. Life will test you with situations that make your emotions rise. People will say things that hurt. Circumstances will challenge your patience. The world will keep pushing. But you have the choice to hold your ground. Before you act, ask yourself, is this action necessary? Will this help or harm? What is the best way to move forward? These questions turn reaction into response. They turn weakness into strength. It is important to practice this skill daily. Even in small matters, pause before replying, pause before deciding, pause before acting. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Soon you will find that you are not easily shaken. Others will wonder how you stay calm while everything moves fast around you. But it is simply because you have learned the power of intention. When everything pushes you and emotions demand control, remember that true strength is not in speed or volume. It is in the quiet space where you choose your response. Strength is not reacting, but responding with intention. And that is what keeps you steady when the world wants you to break. When life feels like it is throwing one storm after another. When the winds of pressure blow from every direction and problems keep stacking without pause. But the thing that can hold you together is inner stillness. Inner stillness is not about ignoring the world or pretending nothing is wrong. It is about being steady when everything else is moving, about being calm even when chaos is all around. When you find stillness within yourself, the storms outside lose their strength. They might shake the surface, but deep inside, you are solid. This is why people who develop inner stillness seem unshakable, no matter what happens. They carry a quiet strength that makes them untouchable by noise. Think of the ocean. On the surface, the waves can be high and violent, but deep down the water is calm. That is how your mind can be. Problems will come, stress will rise, and situations will challenge you. But if you have built inner stillness, you will not drown. You will handle what comes without losing your balance. It is not about stopping the storm. It is about not letting the storm control you. Inner stillness turns the heaviest winds into something you can stand through. Because you are rooted. This kind of stillness is not natural for everyone. It is learned and practiced. It begins with simple awareness. You start noticing how easily your mind is pulled by things around you. Arguments, deadlines, fear, pressure. You notice how quickly you get tense when things do not go your way. Then you start teaching yourself to pause, to breathe, to watch instead of rush. The more you do this, the more you find that stillness is something you can create anytime. It is not something that appears only when life is easy. It is something you carry with you into every situation. When everything pushes you, the world will try to demand quick reactions. People will expect answers, situations will make you restless, and your own thoughts will pressure you to move faster. But stillness reminds you that speed is not always strength. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is wait, observe, and take one deliberate step. Inner stillness gives you patience. It gives you the ability to see things clearly while others are blinded by panic. It lets you choose wisely instead of being trapped by fear or anger. The beauty of inner stillness is that it does not mean being passive. It is not about sitting back and doing nothing. It is about acting with precision, speaking with care, and moving only when it matters. You can be still and yet powerful, because stillness gives your actions weight. A person who is restless wastes energy, but a still person focuses it. Every word, every step comes from a place of control, and that is why it creates more impact. Life will continue to bring storms. Some will be small and pass quickly, others will stay longer and test you deeply. But if you keep practicing stillness, each storm becomes easier to face. You will notice that you do not react as quickly to things that once upset you. You do not panic when plans change. You start to trust that even the biggest wave cannot break you if your center is calm. And that calmness spreads. It helps others around you feel safe. It builds confidence, not just in yourself, but in those who see you handle challenges with grace. To find this stillness, practice it daily. Take time to be quiet, even for a few minutes, and listen to your own thoughts without judgment. Learn to breathe slowly when stress rises. Remind yourself that not everything needs an instant reaction. The more you do this, the stronger your inner stillness becomes, and soon it will be your natural state when everything pushes you. Inner stillness turns heavy storms into passing winds, and when you carry that stillness, you carry a strength that nothing can take away. No matter how many challenges life throws at you, the ability to stay calm is the thread that holds everything together. We have seen that strength is not always in speed or power, but in quietness, patience, and clear choices. When you learn to control your breath, when you understand that pressure is temporary, when you create silence inside and see opportunities where others see obstacles, you rise above the noise. And when you respond with intention and carry inner stillness, nothing can truly break you. Remember, storms will come, but they always pass, and you have the power to stand strong through them. So take these lessons with you, practice them daily, and believe that calmness is your greatest weapon. Good luck on your journey, and thank you for listening.